Hi everybody! So I'm back with a project share, and this is for a swap. It's a round robin swap. So my swap package is going to Esme, and this is hosted in the Crafty Me Tilda Facebook group. That's by invitation only, and Esme is the creator of the group. So this swap was for a sewing box of goodies, and this is my sewing box. It looks very small. That's because it is. I actually had originally got a sewing box, but it was also small. It was probably just a little bit wider than this one. I painted it and I didn't like the result, so I decided I would make my own. I was kind of on the fence with it anyway because I've never used this die before, and it is the Eileen Hall Scoreboards XL. Is it called sewing box? Let's see. Cantilever sewing box, and here's the product code number for it. When you assemble it, it looks like this. Well, that's one way of doing the top. So mine, because it is hosted in the Tilda group, I use Tilda paper for mine, and lots of Tilda goodies. Well, the stick pins in particular, and the fabric here for the stick pin cushion. So here it is from the side. I'm going to hold it so that the lid doesn't open. You can see that I've used the paper from Tilda, and I adhered it to some of the mat board from Sizzix before I cut it to the size that it needed to be. And these are little heart brads. Can you tell that? Little pink heart brads. And I had just enough to do this entire sewing box because you have to do both sides. There's the cantilever on this side and the one on the other side, and then there's two extra holes, this one here and this one here, and so that makes 4 for a side, so there's 8. So yeah, you make sure you have enough brads to do this with, because you don't want to run out. But I also switched out the feet, and I used some clear bobbins that I had purchased from Tuesday Morning, and I just wrapped some trim around that, some pink trim that matched the paper for the feet, and there's 6 of them. And the cantilever box does open up, and there's goodies inside. And let me show you first. The pin cushion that I made at the top is made with Tilda fabric, and I just stuffed it with some stuffing here, and then stuck some Tilda pins in here, some little heart pins. And then I made a lid for this one and put a flap on it so that it could stay shut there. So it just opens like this. And on the inside is some gray cheesecloth that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I made her a charm, and it is sewing themed because everything in the box is sewing themed. So there's a chunky charm in here, and I'll just slide this over to the side real quick to show you the charm. And these charms all come from Michaels, except I believe the pink here, pink chain here, and this lobster clasp, I ordered that online. But the rest of it comes from Michaels, from the Pemberley collection, I believe it is. See, they're all sewing themed. There's a, I put this little what is this called, spool on a head pin, and then attached it to a jump ring and hooked it on here. And then all this, so there's a tape measure, there is another spool that has a little dangly stuff from it, tassel and stuff. There's a pair of scissors on here at the bottom. There it is. It's all kind of tangled up. Scissors with little rows. And then I think the only other thing is this little crochet hook and tassel that are also attached. So this is the little chunky charm that or key ring that I made for Esme in the top of the sewing box. So as I said, this does fold open. So I'm pulling it out so you can see all the other stuff in here. And then this side will open as well. If I can get it to do that. There we go. And so let me show you what's down in here. These are just some charms that I'm going to gift to her. I stuffed each of the layers with some of that same gray cheesecloth just to give it some padding. And then I made these two little wood spools. I painted it on the front only with some pink distress paint. Then I wrapped some ribbon on these and then stuck another Tilda pin, another spool, tiny spool, and then a little flower, resin flower there. And so just as an embellishment that Esme can use. The other one is slightly different because I stuck a different flower on there. And those flowers come from the French General collection that was done with, who was it? Cane Company. I included some little spools in here to gift to Esme. They're tiny spools. And then those charms. And then this one is just some vintage ribbon. It's beautiful ribbon. I don't have a lot of it, but I thought she might enjoy some of this. It's not typically the colors that we craft with, but it's definitely vintage. Look at the quality of the ribbon and the way that this red ribbon is sewed onto there. It's beautiful. So I just ran that around some of this same spool or bobbin in the wood. And that is my little box for Esme, my sewing box. It's so teeny tiny. I mean, really, it's it's tiny. But I just thought she might like this. You know, a lot of us have stuff in our craft room and it's overflowing, so I didn't want it to take up too much space for her. So that's her little sewing box in Tilda style. And then I made some other things. The first thing, oh, here's the die. You guys can see all the little pieces it makes, and actually probably easier to see it on the index sheet here. Those are the pieces that it cuts. And you cut several. You cut 6 of these. You cut 2 of these. These are the feet, so you cut 2. And of course you will cut 4 sets of these, because these are the cantilevers. So that's the die. Okay, so another thing that I made for Esme is this. I altered this little mirror that Vicky had got for me from downtown LA. It's a mirror that slides open. So I'm not going to show myself, but you can see there's the mirror right there. It's pink. And so I popped the little thing in the middle off because it was yellow. So I didn't like that. I just stuck a pearl there with some E6000 and also added this little tassel charm in gold and this little flower with some bling. So that's a little mirror she can carry in her purse if she wants to. And then the other items that I've made for her, I'm going to hook a video after this one if you want to continue watching, so you can see some of the handmade stamps that I'm sending her. Not handmade, but the stamps that I've made for her. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey guys, so I'm going to tack this on with my other share video. This is part of the swap that I'm doing with Esme. Actually, she's not sending her swap to me, she's sending it to somebody else. I'm sending my Tilda sewing box to Esme, and I'm going to include this video as part of the goodies that I'm sending to her. But I recently purchased a silhouette mint. Here's one of the product packaging. This is for a stamp of 45 by 45 millimeters. So I decided to send her some stamps that I thought she might like. But I made one for myself first as the trial, and it's a handmade by stamp. Because one of the stamps that comes in the kit, or when you buy the machine, is one like this. And this is 60 by 15, I believe, millimeters. So I made a stamp for me, not knowing if it would turn out good, and I think it did. Here it is, upside down. So it's a pair of vintage scissors and handmade by Marilyn. So I'm gonna use this for projects that I make, and probably just cards that I want to hand stamp on the back. So there's that, and then the two that I made for Esme are a handmade stamp also, and a Christmas one. Oh, I forgot to show you these. These are some samples of the same stamp that I made for myself on white cardstock and some pink cardstock, so you could see a solid color. And then this is a gingham pink. These are just scraps of circles that I had cut for something else. So I thought I'd show you what it looks like on different colors. And what you do with these stamps is they're self-inking. So when you, unlike most stamps, you take the ink, you take the stamp to the ink pad and ink it up. You actually will use a re-inker. This is the blue one. I didn't use this yet, but you use the re-inker and put some ink on it and let it sit for like 3 minutes, and then stamp off the extra. So you can actually change ink colors after the ink has kind of started to fade on it. Just stamp out the color and go for something else. I don't expect to do that with this one because I probably will use black for the most part. So the other two stamps that I made for Esme, one is a handmade stamp, and I'll show you that first. It's this one right here. And it comes with these little label sheets so you can stamp onto it so that she knows what is in here. And there's a plastic cover to protect it from other items so you don't get ink on anything. I inked this up for her in the black. If she wants to purchase another color of re-inker, she can do that once this starts to fade, and just stamp off onto some cardstock. And I'll show you what happens when you first ink it up. There's a whole blotchiness to it as the ink soaks into the stamp. And these are all the different stamps that I've made onto paper just to stamp off some of that ink. I did it again with the this one right here, and I'm going to show you that one. That one is this stamp that I made for her. I saw this stamp, not this one in particular, but I saw a stamp that I really liked from Magnolia, and I have not been able to find it on their website, so I went ahead and made my own. It's a vintage deer image that I got off the internet from the Graphics Fairy, and then I have this font, Season's Greetings. I typed this around it, and the Silhouette Mint Studio lets you curve the letters, but this is a font that I have on my computer. So this is the Christmas stamp that I made for her. I chose to ink it up in two colors, red and black, and she can, again, once this color starts to go and there's no more ink in the stamp, she can ink it with brown. I don't have a brown re-inker, otherwise I would have used that because I think it's a nice vintage coloring, but this red and black, so you can do different colors. I could have done the leaves in green if I had a green, etc. So this is the other stamp I made for her, and this is what it looks like when you stamp it onto paper. So I'm going to tack this onto my other video, but these are some goodies I'm going to send her as part of my package for the swap. Thanks for watching.